Good morning. This is Shannon and Debbie from Cut the Scrap in Allentown. This week's podcast is for Scrap Talk is the great yarn debate and navigating through the colorful world of yarn. Not just all the colors, but the different types of yarn and maybe a little of what you can make with each. So, how are you today, Debbie?
I'm good, thanks.
Great. I'm good too. So, do you want to tell us a little something about your thoughts on yarn?
Well, let's first start out with saying that knitting is healthy.
Knitting and crocheting.
And crocheting, yes.
Yes.
And crocheting is healthy. Did you know you burn calories when you knit and crochet?
Yeah.
55 calories an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
Then why am I not thinner?
So knit and crochet away and burn those calories.
It's also good for your mental health.
Absolutely.
That's what
Absolutely.
I do it for.
Me too. Me too.
Not the calories.
Yeah.
But every little bit counts there.
Yes. So, what yarn should we knit and crochet with? Acrylic, or wool, or something else? What's the difference?
Exactly. What's your favorite? What's your preference?
My favorite is some kind of wool blend.
Oh, yes.
I like a merino blend, just because it's soft, it's pliable, and I just like the way it feels when I wear something that I make with it.
Speaking of, we have some wool yarn here. A whole bunch of different textures for wool, don't you think? Like they're getting softer.
Yeah, I think so.
Or is that less in the blend? Less wool in the blend?
Well, the less expensive yarns have less wool in the blend. They blend it with some kind of acrylic or nylon or something else. So it just depends on how they do it to make it so soft. This is a worsted weight, you can tell, because it's a little thicker. And I love that color.
It says this is chunky.
It doesn't seem too chunky.
It doesn't seem too chunky. But like I said, I feel like all the new ones are getting thinner and thinner.
Yeah, which now to me, I prefer to knit and crochet with like a fingering weight.
Really? Is
Yeah.
that so that you're making lightweight shawls?
Right. I'll go fingering maybe DK, but worsted kind of pushes it for me because to me that's a little heavy. So, but I like the fingering. Now, don't go lace. I am not a lace knitter crocheter. No.
It's not very easy. I tried and I forgot my current project. I have old projects, but yarn, I mean, at this point, do you even call this yarn?
I call that a pain in the ass.
Yes, but I was using it to put an edge on my shawl, and for that purposes, it looked beautiful crocheted.
And I also like it when you put it like in like a row in the middle of something, when you combine it with your other yarn.
To make different
textures and
yes.
stuff. I like it for that. Otherwise, no. It has its own bin here in the yarn room.
Well, yes. And for those who come and visit our shop, all of the yarn on the back wall is acrylic. Some are a little bit different than others, but that happens with the different companies. And then we have sections for other types of yarns. It was hard to try to decide how to organize it. By what method, just all color or color and types. So the most of what we have is acrylic yarn, which is probably what most people work with. And then everything else is sorted by how thick it is. Is that the right word? Or type? Because I feel like it's thickness.
Yeah. I think they call it the weight of the yarn.
The weight, yes.
Weight of the yarn.
No, actually, I saw that they do how wide for sometimes. Yeah. Because some of these, especially these thinner ones, well, this is what I don't understand about it. These thinner ones are still considered bulky. Maybe not this one specific, but one that has like a ball on it.
Yeah.
It'll be considered chunky just for having that little ball on it.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't want to use that in like something that I'm using fingering weight with and incorporate that, because I just think
that's a lot of yeah, that's a lot too much.
Yeah. So yeah, we have it separated. Shannon has it separated here. We have super bulky, chunky, homespun, super fine. What else is over there?
Homespun from Lion Brand is actually, I think it comes out really pretty with crochet.
Yes.
Especially for giving something a different texture, because the weight and the thickness isn't as bad.
Right. I like that. I've never used it, but
of course, like this is like
oh my gosh.
I'm not even sure, like, what is it? So this is Red Heart Boutique Swerve, and it's super chunky. Yeah. Now, I mean, these I think are just like for small elements of things. It's not.
I would think so. I
don't. A regular. I say regular. That's garment. Like saying normal. I know. I don't like that. Why am I saying that? For like typical crochet
right. Garments of that kind. Maybe for a blanket or something. That would be be fun.
But
on
you
blanket,
would need a lot.
Well, I wouldn't do a whole blanket with that. That'd be
crazy. What else we got? Oh, this to me is super chunky.
That's super chunky.
Super chunky. It's like a size like 7 or 8. I put the sizes at 7 is the highest. It says 7 plus if it's. But man, you get the thicker the yarn, the more expensive it is to make. Yeah. What you're making.
Yeah.
And especially a blanket and all of this is going to take a lot, because this doesn't weigh very much.
Now, would you really like use a needle or a hook with this, or would you do like finger knitting with this?
You could do finger knitting. I actually have done, I don't think I did this thick, but I thought I grabbed one of the, it's slightly smaller than this.
Okay.
And it's super like velvety soft.
Yeah.
So I've made blankets that are just, what is it called? Your lap?
Like a lap blanket?
A lap blanket. Because that's as much as I wanted to spend on the yarn to make it. And my ADD gets into hold and I can't make big, long projects.
Yeah.
I have a few that are not finished. Do you have how many unfinished yarn projects do you have?
We don't talk about
that.
Okay. we don't talk about that.
It's like
I have so many I'm embarrassed to even say I can. Because I think we're all kind of the same this way. There is that excitement about starting a new project.
There is. Oh my goodness.
I love it when you find a yarn that it's like, oh, that would be so pretty as a shawl or as a bag. And then you start it and then, oh, look, more yarn.
Yeah. So, usually I get the bright idea to start a new project at 10 o'clock at night. And then I want to stay up till 2 in the morning because I'm so excited about it.
And you have that yarn hangover in the morning.
I never heard of that, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So, did you know, though, one thing about yarn that I thought was interesting is that single-colored yarns are more popular than multicolored yarns. People buy more single-hued yarn than they do striped or speckled or something else.
That's interesting.
I know.
Because I always love
how
especially the ombre
I love ombre yarn.
Oh, it's my favorite because I don't have to change
I know.
skeins in the middle.
Yeah.
So did you bring any samples of your yarn
I did.
projects?
I did, as a matter of fact. The first one I brought was,
Oh my goodness.
I knit this one. This is a shawl, and I forget what pattern this is.
I love that. That's
Oops.
beautiful. And
Hello. So I knit that
Beautiful.
years ago. It's a really soft wool alpaca.
It's alpaca too.
That I got from one of the yarn shows one year.
Wait. There's a yarn show.
Yarn shows, yes, they're all over. And there is one coming to Allentown in September. Lehigh Valley Fiber Fest.
I guess that's what I'm saving my money up for.
Yeah. And then
Ooh,
another
that's
shawl that I made
beautiful.
was, this is the virus shawl, the virus pattern. And these colors are from the flag of the women's suffrage movement for the 19th Amendment, you know, the women's right to vote, when they were doing protesting and things like that. This is the color of that flag. I bought it as a kit at a yarn show.
Nice. I love the pattern here. You're gonna have to teach me how to do
Oh,
that.
this is so simple. I must have made 4 or 5 shawls out of this pattern.
Do you know what it's
so
called?
easy. Virus.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah, the virus shawl.
Got you. My favorite stitch is moss.
I like that. I just
Yeah.
learned that.
It's super easy.
I know, but I like the way it looks.
It just looks gorgeous.
and it makes the yarn look
have,
so cool.
I actually brought one that's made with that. Oh my goodness. I brought a lot. And all of this was
I
yarn
love this.
from Cut the Scrap.
Sweet.
So
that's
this
so
is
pretty.
the moss stitch, the very long scarf.
I love it though. Love the colors. Is this one skein
No.
of yarn? Oh, you put different colors together.
I loved this velvet. Is it purple? Is it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I guess it's more purple is what I went with. And then I had an ombre leftover skein.
Nice.
And got this cool. And of course, I made a hat. So this is the yarn that I used.
Oh, okay.
This is the ombre, but then it's got like
so
little
soft.
speckles.
Mhm.
So yeah, I made those two, and they're both from everything. All this yarn is from Cut the Scrap.
And I want to show you one more thing that before I show you something else that Shannon did that I think is brilliant.
What did I do?
When I was in Hawaii a couple years ago, there was an art show, and there was a woman there that was selling her crocheted items. This is one of her crocheted items. It's a hat. Not particularly as interesting as the hat itself, but you know what this depicts? This is a volcano. This is the lava, the mountains, the beach, and then the ocean.
Oh, that is so
Isn't that
cool.
beautiful? And I just had to have this hat because because of what she depicted in it. I mean, think about maybe doing that if you go on vacation or something and it's particularly green or some, all different colors. That's what I'm trying to say. Incorporate it into your yarn projects. That would be so fun.
Speaking of that, on vacations, when you pack up yarn and decide, I'm going to do this vacation blanket because it was a 3-week trip that we did a circle around the country to all national parks. Anyhow, so I decided I was going to make this moose blanket because we were going to Yellowstone in the Rockies and see moose, and as a family we love moose. And at the time, I wanted to make this moose blanket, but then on the trip, I only got done probably about this much of the blanket. It was a lot harder of a pattern.
Oh.
And plus getting in and out of the car, starting and stopping, Like, I had messed up stitches that I had to redo. Like, it was, that's in my...
It's in your whips?
Yep, it's in my whips. But that was kind of a fail because I don't think I'm ever going to finish it.
Like, speaking of going on a trip, a vacation or something,
Mm-hmm.
I always take a project. How many of us take a project or 2 or 3 because you don't know what you're going to feel like working on.
Exactly.
Just because if you bring one thing and it's like, this is, like you said, too heavy, bringing it in out of the car. I always have 2 or 3 things. And as a matter of fact, when we went to Tennessee last year, I found the project that I was working on in the back seat. and I didn't even remember that I had it because I have so many whips going.
Yeah.
So it was under there. So, yeah, that's another one. So how many projects do you pack when you go on vacation?
More importantly, how much yarn? Like, one thing I did on last year's vacation was I just made hats because that's like one of my go-to patterns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need anything, just my my favorite hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter because it's like in the middle.
Yeah.
And I always use Worst yarn,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I took like maybe 6 skeins of yarn. We were gone for a week. But then I didn't even use that yarn because we were thrifting.
No,
And
you were
I
going to say
thrifted a big bag of yarn and just got so excited. I just started working on those. But it made me work fast.
Yeah.
Like, I made like 10 hats and they all sold.
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah, what do we do with our stuff? I have a big bin of knit and crocheted shawls and hats and who knows what. There aren't enough days to wear everything, you know? It's like, what do we do with these things?
Wow.
I don't know. I make something because I enjoy making something.
Correct. And I thought that would mean you could make money from it, but that doesn't always work out.
Because I don't think people want to pay
yes. I've seen online some people made really nice blankets and they're selling for $100 and it's like, I don't know. I tried doing an Etsy shop and that was meh.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people making stuff and maybe even making, well, not maybe even, but making things that are better than mine. But anyhow.
Yeah, we all know that if we make something to sell, it's difficult to price.
Yeah.
At your craft shows and things like that. So there's all kinds of like calculators out there that tell you your time and materials and then this and that. And by the time you get done, you know, you're charging $60 for a hat that somebody's like, no, I can make it for less than that.
Yeah.
Well, of course you can, but did you?
And when you buy it, especially the wool hats, you got to make sure you put a little label or give them a card or something that says the care instructions. Oh my gosh, I should have brought you one. I'm not going to say who it was in case they are watching, but they brought me, they wanted a wool hat. I made them a wool hat and it accidentally went into the washer and dryer. And now it's like a little...
Does it fit the Chihuahua now?
Yeah. It probably could. I haven't tried it on the cat, but maybe it'll fit the cat. So, yeah, you have to beware of washing instructions. That's what I like about acrylic, is because you could do anything, throw it in the mud.
Yeah, it's good for indoor wear, outdoor wear, anything, and you can just wash it.
And it gets softer.
Yes. Oh, I know.
So what other projects do you have that you brought?
That's all the other projects.
Okay.
All the projects I brought. But getting back to this thing that Shannon did.
Oh.
This is a cut the scrap cake. Scrap cake. Shannon takes yarns from the shop, and she makes
scrap yarns. It's only like, a small thing.
People donate odds and ends of yarn, and she cakes it up into a cake, and it's so pretty. And look at this one. This is more like mohair yarn or something,
Or show this part. You can see the different
Oh,
colors.
that's real
There's
pretty.
3 different colors there.
Yeah. And what else? Oh, I like this one too. Like this.
And this is enough to make a hat.
Yeah.
To make, if somebody's just learning, to show them, and you can make like a little swatch, or a lot of people are using the dish rags. It's not, none of these are that hard scrubby. It's just all the different types of yarns that come in to the store, and they're just little scraps.
And they're not knotted together. Shannon has a technique that she has that the yarn,
it's very tiny knot.
And this is about, what, a 4-ounce cake?
3 or 4, I don't remember. I guess I should write that on it.
You'll know when you buy this and
Yeah.
check out, because we charge by the ounce for the yarn. So, anyway, there's quite a few scrap cakes here to choose from when you come in the shop. So look for them down in the yarn room. I just wanted to say that. I love these things.
Yes, definitely. I love it too. I was going to say one more thing on the price of projects. When you have to buy all the yarn, it is definitely better to come here and look for what we have before you make a project, because our yarn is cheaper than anyone around. And you're still going to make the same project, and you could probably price it a little better because if you're selling it.
Right. And know also that we have individual skeins of yarn. We also have bags that are like sweater quantities, so of certain yarns. So if you're looking for something like that, then we have that too down in the yarn room.
There's lots of good stuff in here.
I know.
Oh, I was going to pull. Oh, we also have a lot of book patterns and kits. If you see a brown bag with piece of paper on the front and a handle, and it's usually on our top shelves, that is projects. And everything you need to make that project is in that bag. There's hooks. I think there's 1 or 2 that are knitting and have knitting needles, which we have enough to like.
We can supply this end of Allentown.
Yeah,
with
or more.
Oh yeah,
more. So that's something great to pick up as a gift, or if you've never done crocheting or knitting. They're usually beginner type books. Some are more advanced, but it all says it on the front cover, what the pattern is and everything that's in the bag.
Yeah, I love those bags. It's like a quick project, like,
yeah.
Well, not necessarily a quick project, but you don't have to think about it. We did all the work for you. It's all in the bag. So I think that's about all. You know what I wanted to say is, now I'm going to read this off of the thing because I can't remember all these words. I wanted to talk about where all the wool comes from, because I like facts like this. I think it's interesting. So what country do you think produces the most wool? What do you think?
Wool produces the most wool.
Right.
I have no. It's probably not the United States.
No, it is not the United States. We are very low. Australia.
Okay.
Australia produces 345 million kilos a year.
Oh my gosh.
That's about 1/4 of the wool production in a year.
Wow.
They're followed by China, Russia, New Zealand, Argentina, South Africa, the UK, and Uruguay. So,
interesting.
and along that, when I go on vacation, if we're like when we went to England, I shop for yarns that are specific to different areas.
Yeah.
Because I think it's so interesting
where it comes from.
And when my son went to Ecuador, he brought me some yarn from there, and I just love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yarn is so much fun. How can you be sad when you have yarn?
I know.
Makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to wrap this up. Do we have anything new in the shop? We gave a lot of new stuff last week. We got a scanner. Oh my gosh. And it works. And it is so much fun. So,
and it's so cute. It's tiny.
We'll make your time at the checkout not so
quicker.
long. Go faster, which it was our goal. So we're getting little things at a time.
Yes. We're getting there. And remember, Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo has moved in the shop today. So come in and get your passport if you don't have one already for the month of July.
And a list of everywhere you can go to find Waldo and get a stamp in your passport. We don't have a stamp. We have a sticker. But it's super cute. So we're not going to show it. You have to come in.
Yeah.
And get your passport to get one.
Yes. So come in and see us and buy some yarn.
Yeah. And then one last thing, events we have this week.
Tomorrow I have an event with the Cancer Care Center. They're coming in to do a bunch of projects with us.
Nice.
And then on, no, that's Thursday. Yeah, no, that's tomorrow.
Thursday.
Oh, where is my head? Yeah, that's tomorrow's Thursday. So that's tomorrow.
It feels like Monday, doesn't it?
I know. Yeah, well, it is our Monday.
It is our Monday.
And then Friday I have kids classes from the younger kids from 10 to 12, and then 12 to 1 is the older kids. I have projects going on.
So make sure you sign up on our website for that, because we only have a limited number of spots, because our classroom, project room, store is only so big.
Right. So check the website and sign up on there.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.